I'm trying to fix a few things, okay? Just give me a few. It's a terrible time! And I'm making a very dangerous move of, like, trying to update something while in the middle of a stream, which is an absolutely terrible idea, I'll admit. I'm gonna blame Icy. Icy started streaming the same time I did, and they've scuffed my stream. Scuff streams be like that for you too? Oh my goodness, Renee is like, no, unnamed. Hi. I looked at UN and I go, and for some reason I autocomplete to Uranea Zach because you're never supposed to be here, unnamed. It's 3 in the morning. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Wait, no, you're not 3 a.m. You're like Texas time. What's Texas time? Enjoying the storm? Oh, I'm not getting any storm where I am right now. What's Texas time? 2 in the morning. It's 2 in the morning. What are you doing here, unnamed? I can't sleep. Oop, it's 2 a.m. God damn it. Well, we're gonna at least give you a shout out. Thank you for coming along to this scuffy stream. I will be real with you. I am going to opt in for the route of updating different pieces of software. You can be here. Yes, Furry Cures can be here because I have had to admit that Furry Cures just never properly follows a sleep schedule and such, and every mention of it is just going to be absolutely ruined. It is no point whatsoever. There's important information of 0.2.2. This is a quick collection of fixes to address some breaking issues by third-party integrated services. Any known/teased upcoming will be in the next update. Excellent. Good to know. Alrighty. Clients, that's connected. The Vignon thing, that's connected. The stream apps, that's connected. Alrighty then. Commands. Where is my quote-unquote first? Where the fuck is it? There it is. Exclamation point first. That can only be for... Yeah, so it's only allowed for me. I'll make it moderators in case of any fuck-ups. Enable it. Alrighty, let's try this again. Yakuza, these nuts! Sorry, things are not running right now, code. Alright, let's try this again. No, that's not how the... God damn it. Ah! Alright, hang on a second. First. So, first and foremost, it grabs info from who redeemed, and then we need to add in scuff. Exactly. Absolute fucking scuff. User, get user info from input. So it goes who redeems, and then who inputs. Alright, let's try that again. First, at bookie. There we go! Wait, why did it... It grabbed who redeemed, and then it adds info from the thingy-madiggy. Set title, where it's... Oh, god damn it. Alright, so it's... This is me fixing things. Target user. Control C. Control V. Control V. The overlay is target user name. Don't fart in my stream. I am doing my darndest. Target user profile. Yep. Yep. Congratulations. Target user. Target user. User counter. Play the trumpets and then do the thing. Alright, let's try this again. Thank you for the 50 bits, though, for the fart reverb. Alright, let's try this one last time. Nice! Congratulations, Bookie, you're the first viewer to the stream. Yes, first. There we go. Yay, things are working again. The TTS bot is not yet done. I will get that sorted, don't you worry. Fantastic scuff, by the by. Alrighty then. So, Bookie's thing is done. The hello there. Alright, so Cookie is fine. Cake. And, yep, Cake is back to 300. Himbo is 250. All of that should be good. Biggest fan right now is Jason. Alrighty then. And then it's like, Yakuza these nuts.
Yakuza does nuts.
Bam! Ow. Alrighty. Now, I have not posted into everywhere that I have started streaming, so let's just pretend I don't have to do that, and we'll see how we go with tonight's stream as we go through Yakuza. So yeah. Alright, what did I miss? I've missed Furry-Cures being upsetties, Bookie being sarcastic, Sky with the Dino Dance. Hi there, Sky. Unnamed is here. Code got in to say Yakuza these nuts. Alrighty then. We got everything we needed. Let me get Yakuza 0 running. So, we finally got into chapter 5, I think it was. So we now have Kiryu with like the actual like outfit that he has on the cover. Hello, Jason. Welcome. Glad to see that shit is working. Alrighty then. Head over to the play section. Pause the music. Real Yakuza use a controller. Abso-fucking-lutely. Alright, we don't need all that because it's going to do some very flashy nonsense when it does. But yeah, we are going to be entering into the real estate business. That is what Kiryu's job is. He is now a real estate agent. I am not very familiar with the real estate business, even though I live in Australia, and everyone needs to know how to do real estate in Australia. I had to learn the hard way that you just can't get a lifelong loan from the bank. You have to get a veritable rate. You don't get to have, you know, you pick your rate and then it does the thing. Nice work on the 78%. Alrighty then. Oh my goodness, is this a... Come on. Goons, there we go. Bam, boom, bing. Oh yeah! Yes! Right into the car! Fuck yeah, that was awesome! I didn't even keep track on how much money I earned when I did that. Alright, so we helped this old man with a, thingy-majiggy where there was like a squatter in his house or something. And he was trying to, like, rebuild it to do something else. Right now, yeah, Yamanoi. He is cleaning out the office. I'll walk around and kill some time, then check back in. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm killing time. And the best way to do that is just get into a fight. More Yakuza to deal with. Morning, Xerix. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. Absolute bottomed him. There we go. Alright, we get ourselves another phone card. Speaking of controller, learning to play Final Fantasy 14 with it. I remember you mentioning that in Discord. You direct messaged me about how you were going to be playing Final Fantasy 14, a critically acclaimed MMORPG with a thing. What's the Mahuzi? What did I come in when you said absolutely bottomed him? I was like, just bam, like just hit him like real hard that he hit rock bottom. I don't know, okay? You're welcome to clip me on that one. I need more clips. Lord knows I need to have more of my stream out to the world. But yeah, so speaking of Final Fantasy 14, you finished the Alliance raid for Endwalker. Hey, nice work! I have not done any of the Alliance raids other than... I could barely even hear that. Well, I could barely hear the pull the lever, crunk. Like, how did I miss that? It was really faint. Action cues, action history. A lot of welcome messages, a hello there. Let's re-cue that. What does it sound like? Okay, so it's just a little bit quiet when you compare it to the loud noises of the Japanese, the Yakuza equivalent of Shibuya, or whatever this place is called. Why was that perfectly timed? Because I wanted to zoom in and comment on how, you know, I've not done any of the Alliance raids, really. Like, I've done, maybe, no, that's not true. I think I've done Crystal Tower. Because, like, I think that's a requirement in order to do the, Heaven's Ward for whatever reason. Ow. Oh my god, I'm about to get body. Yep. Yeah, Crystal Tower, that's right. I was a... There we go. Slap him with the sign. Zeebs code. I highly recommend the quest line you unlock after beating Endwalker. Oh, if I finish Endwalker, I'm probably not going to touch Final Fantasy, and I'm going to go into another into another MMO. Need to get up to Endwalker. Yeah, exactly. We also need to get to Endwalker. I'm still on Shadowbringers. I've done the math. I need to hang on a second. So, let me just get my notepad out. So I did the math. There is 73. So I need to go through 73 more quests for Shadowbringers. Let me bring out the calculator as well. So you can all see like where I'm at with the math and what have you. Hello. Why won't this thing play music? There we go. So I've got 73 quests in Shadowbringers, another 51 in, like, the post thingamadiggy, and then Endwalker has 108 that I need to go to, and another 44 in the post-game content. Icy goes down with Zeebs. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so there are 276 quests that I need to complete, and about... 18, 26, 30. 32 of those quests are going to be trials or dungeons. Now, the release date for, what's the next DLC for Final Fantasy 14? Not DLC, expansion. Dawn Trail, thank you. So, Dawn Trail... Now, the release date of Dawn Trail is summer of 2024. It doesn't really give us a lot of... summer next year. All right, so that is the 29th of July... Wait, 29th? No, that's when they announced the Dawn Trail thingamadiggy. Yeah, they just said summer of 2024. Okay, let's just say July, and then I'm gonna open up a calendar. Not this calendar, another calendar. Hopefully this is the right calendar. Yes it is. Cool. So today is 29th. So we've got the 2nd. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so we've got... So let's just do some rough numbers. So we've got like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 4. We got about 30 to 40 Saturdays. All right, let's go for 30. We got 30 Saturdays in order to get through the whatsamahoozies, the Final Fantasy quests. So if we divide that by 30, that means we have to complete approximately 9 quests a session, and that means that and then if we divide that by... Normally we try and go for like 3 hours, which means we have to accomplish 3 missions per hour. Every DLC until Endwalker was released in June/July. Okay. So yeah. So I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I feel relatively confident with the math. I reckon I can do that. Like an average of 3 missions an hour, like totally doable. Totally doable with the number of Saturdays I have, and if need be, we just do like another session outside of the Saturdays to do the thing, the whatsamahoozies, the Final Fantasies, and we'll make it like a huge thing. All right, do not bump into the guy with the coat. No. Oh, come on. Oh, you motherfucker! No! Bullshit! If you get there and cross realms exist, I'm happy to do Dawn Trails with you. Thank you so much, Velk. I really appreciate it. Alright, let's go for this fight again. Also, did someone knock on my door? Hang on a second. Did someone knock on my door? No, there wasn't. I thought someone knocked on my door. I was a little concerned if they did. Also, I just realized the background music is still playing and I need to get rid of that. There we go. Alrighty, let me put my hands plugged in. You're scaring me since a few moments ago and no one was there. Yeah, no one was there for me either, so... You and I are having a very funky time. Oh my god, I lose like half my health in trying to... There we go. Kick his ass. God damn it, little Incineroar. Yes! Yep, and I nearly died again from that. Alrighty. Let's eat all these. Thank you for the hyper himbo. I greatly appreciate it, but I do not appreciate you stealing my shirt. I need it back. Give me my shirt back now. Wait. Now. He's just fucking dancing. Alrighty. Let's go for. Get fucking tissues. The legendary drinker. Yokai. Alright, let's go for a sushi set. There we go. You're making chicken flavored noodles with grated onion and cheese with the soup. Oh, nice! I went and made myself a pizza. Oh, I need to check my pager. 890114 is all set. 01104 is come by. I guess he is done cleaning. So yeah, I went and made myself a pizza. So I got myself a pizza base. I got 2 different kind. Never mind. Incineroar just doesn't care about good, you know, me being self-reliant and making my own meals instead of ordering in. All they care about is cake. All they care about is that ass. Alrighty, was it here I needed to go? You want to make homemade pizzas again? I did it this evening. Kiryu-sama. Pleased to meet you. I am Marina, Yamanoi-san's secretary. I look forward to working with you. Right. Kiryu. Good to meet you. What do you think, Kiryu-san? The place looks great, doesn't it? John Star-Lord Hufflepuff. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing alright. Let's go with Hufflepuff. Because John is a very generic name, and I don't know if you're a Star-Lord, but you know what? You know what? With a name like that, I reckon you're a Hufflepuff, aren't you? You are, aren't you? You might be a John for all I know, but you are very certainly a Hufflepuff. Nope, they don't want to answer. Hufflepuff. What do you think, Kiryu-san? The place looks great, doesn't it? Yeah, it's incredible. It does look cool. You can now use the office in the Sugita building as your hideout, which also serves as your business headquarters. As the story advances, you'll unlock the ability to switch protagonists using the hideout telephone, as well as change clothes into any of the outfits you've unlocked. Now, how about I walk you through some business basics? Is this a good time? Sure, sounds good. We're about to learn how to make money in real estate, just like an Australian. Please don't order real estate like an Australian. We are absolutely fucking, screwed over here. We do not have enough buildings being made. The infrastructure can't support it if we try and go inland. The cost of living has been going up while all the houses have been going up in cost, and no one is selling a lot of their homes because no one wants to downsize after getting the good homes, and they know that the only direction the property is going to go is up. It is absolutely terrible. Stop coming to Australia hoping you're going to live somewhere great. You're not. It's going to be cheap as fuck, and it's going to be either far away from the city or far away from anything worthwhile. Think of America and the lack of infrastructure public transport wise, and apply that to Australia with a lot of their stuff. It's absolutely terrible. Sure, sounds good. In that case, I'll let my secretary take it from here. There's a lot to remember, but if you forget anything, you can ask me anytime. For now, I'll walk you through the whole process once. Managing your business. Parentheses continue to the next page. Kamurocho Real Estate Royale. In Real Estate Royale, you purchase and manage properties to build up your funds with the ultimate goal of bringing down the 5 billionaires. Manage your holdings from Kiryu's office by interacting with the city model on the table. You can also check the status of your properties by selecting business from the pause menu. Managing your business. 2 of 9. Continue to the next page. Managing real estate from the office. You can do the following through the office menu. Start payout collection for each area. Collect profits from each area. Assign a manager and security to each area. Send advisors to properties. Manage your properties using these options and you will soon be raking in huge profits. Huge. Absolutely huge. Starting payout collection. Select Real Estate Royale Management and press Y to display a payout collection confirmation window. If you have assigned a manager or security guard to the area you want to collect from, their salaries will also be listed. Select Yes to continue. Collecting profits. Sometime after collection is started, the gauge will fill and you will be able to collect your profits. The funding gathered is based on profit forecasts and economic trends. However, sometimes things will not go so smoothly. Problems may arise during the collection process and you may be challenged to a money battle while collecting your profits. If a problem occurs, the collection gauge will freeze. You will be unable to collect profits until you go to find out who's causing the problem and subsequently deal with them. Why would people raise the cost of houses and living if they know they can't have the money for it? Here's the problem, Bookie. The people who are raising the cost of the houses and the living are the people who already have the housing and the living. Like, do you really need like the old 80-year-old woman in the 5-bedroom home? No, it's ridiculous. She's not going to fill that up again. She's not going to get married and get 3 kids or anything like that. And let's face it, if she's alone and staying in that house, she's reminiscing about the fact when the kids didn't have the option to go away. Is she going to downsize? No, absolutely fucking not. Will the kids visit her? Who knows? Maybe it's dependent on the dynamic. I'm visiting my mom and my dad, but let's be real, my relationship with them is not dependent on their money or anything like that. I am going to be visiting my mom while she's living in a fucking apartment up in the, fucking North Queensland. Money battles. Sometimes when you collect your profits, one of the 5 billionaires will challenge you to a money battle. The manager assigned to that area will try to counter the effects of the billionaire's aggressive investment. But if their HP runs out, you will lose the targeted property. Protect your property by pressing A to invest your own money and restore the manager's HP. Assigning staff. You can assign 1 manager per area. They have the following abilities. Financial savvy. Counts as HP during money battles. This only recovers when a manager is not in use, so switch them out often. Economic influence. Shows the manager's effect on economic trends in the area. The higher value, the better. The number on the left is the starting value, and the one on the right is the final one after 4 collections. In addition to a manager, you can also assign a security guard to an area. Each security employee has the following abilities. Problem solving. Shows the ability to resolve issues during collection. At high levels, guards are more likely to solve problems on their own. Safety influence. The higher the value, the fewer violent encounters will transpire when walking in an area. The number on the left is the starting value, and the number on the right is the final value after 4 collections. Plus, you're also dealing with landlords that are buying up every property and upselling it. Yes, that is true. And here's the other problem. When the economic crisis in 2008 went off, barely anyone could afford the homes that they, put like a whole ton of loans on and all that kind of such. A lot of people failed to keep a job, yada yada. And so there came this problem where there was all these houses no one could afford to buy, and everyone was just sort of out of a job. A lot of banks had a lot of problems. Here's the problem that happened like about a year after all that shit went down. The few people who did not have a financial issue, like Australians, for instance, because we got so much fucking stimulus that went into us to help fuel the economy, so then that way, we still needed people to work the cash registers and do the influence of the economy and yada, yada, yada. Anyone that still had money left over after doing the whole cost of living and all that kind of shit in 2009, 2010, a lot of properties started getting... Why do I... Do you even... Does little Incineroar know what I'm talking about? Do they... Or are they just, like, muted on this thing, and all they want is, like, ooh, titties, please continue? So, yeah. So, in 2010, 2011, all these properties started getting consolidated by larger players, which is not great for the economy, because if capitalism has taught us anything, especially from big oil, big companies would rather lose money than let other people gain money. That is a rule within capitalism for the big oil. It's a rule of capitalism for cars, for Amazon, and for video game publishers. They will quite literally lose money just to stop the other person from gaining money. It is fucking dumb, and the only way that kind of shit stops is when there is government oversight on the actual, like, you know, marketplace, so then that way the larger of the corporations doesn't stay stagnant and leave everyone just depressed and not wanting to fight against the monster. Because guess what? When the big oil split up into 6 different companies, the 6 companies separately made more money, and this is before, like, inflation and all this kind of shit as well. They made more money in, like, the first few years than the entire time that big oil had all those different things, igamadiggies, put together. It is very much a case of capitalism is a game of consolidation, and you would much rather have other people lose money before you... Or you'd rather have you lose money before other people gain money. It's really fucking dumb. And that's what's happened with housing as well. Is that when a lot of people lost, larger sort of businesses and individuals, like, scrounged up the fucking money. That's why we have Mark Zuckerberg owning, like, half of Hawaii right now, and we're very much annoyed with Meta. What the fuck is he doing in Hawaii? He's a fucking nerd who does jujitsu. He doesn't need all of Hawaii to do his martial arts tournament. If he does do a martial arts tournament, maybe one island, but he doesn't need, like, you know, the biggest one. Meanwhile, Tim Sweeney, like, he puts his money into, like property as well. Wait, what? Yes. Mark Zuckerberg owns property in Hawaii, and he owns, like, a lot? That's, like, when people start making money and they don't want to lose that money, like, they don't want to get taxed and shit like that, despite the fact that the reason for their benefiting within the society is the fact that they're able to utilize the resources that taxpayers help sponsor, like roads, internet, utilities, yada, yada, yada. What they will do is they'll put their money into what's called unrealized gains. They'll put it into land. They'll put it into stocks. They'll put it into fundraisers that technically they don't, like, have all the control over, but let's be real, they do have control over, because they're dictating where they want the money to go, and it's a charitable organization. Or you start a cult with, like, a religion or some shit. Who knows? I don't know the last person who started a cult to not have to pay taxes, but I reckon that was, like, a long time ago, like, not in the modern age. Could you imagine someone trying to start, like, a religious organization in today's age? I could imagine Elon Musk doing it. I could very much imagine Elon Musk trying to start actually, no, not Elon Musk. Who's charismatic in the modern... Richard Branson! Would Richard Branson be able to make a cult? Maybe. Someone will start a cult one day and it will be a tax write-off. Sending advisors to property. Send an advisor to visit property to help make improvements, upgrading its rank in the process. Select a property first, then an advisor. You will have to pay for their services, but the earning potential of a property will improve as it ranks rises. Each advisor has different abilities and areas of expertise, so select the right advisor for each property. You can't deal with these rich people anymore. They'll always giving you a headache. Eating now. Not to worry, bookie. I think that about covers it. Did you follow all that? I think so. Then let's get to it. Please give the order to begin collection for our current property holdings. Use the I just got that from the... Alright. This is our property. We have, in the Leisure King area, we have like 5% of the shares. We have economy is going down, the safety is C, and... Alright. They're an average guy, they'll do their... Alright. No one in the... Yep. Nice. And then we've got... So that will cost 390. Could we just, like, buy up everyone here? Ah. Alright, so in the Leisure King area, we have the Yurazake. The economy is taking a downturn. You gave the collection orders like a pro. Now you just need to relax for a bit, and the cash will come flowing in. Oh, and Yamanoi-san left me some funds to serve as your initial operating capital. I'll give that to you now. 15 million yen? Shit! This is a fortune. Are you sure? Of course. That nest egg and Yurazake down on the first floor of this building are my little send-off to you. Please use them with my blessing. Though relying on a single shop's profit is putting a lot of eggs in one basket, why not buy another with that cash? If you want a solid starter, I'd recommend Sukiyaki Muranaka or the Kenkachi Street. It's a pretty popular spot, but still a comparatively affordable acquisition. Alright, I'll take a look. First, I'll check on the place, use the funds to purchase on Watsumahuzi Street. Use the funds... Wait, can I not do it from here? Oh, hang on. Yay, I got another, card. Alrighty, so... I need to go to a place... Oh, so I have to, like, physically go there and try to buy them. Is that it? Take a look. Sukiyaki Muranaka. It's the main outpost of an old school restaurant. There are always booked solid reservations. What should I do? Alright, so 5% share, $14 million. Radio. Kono kanede. Imagine if you could just do that. Yay! We now have 10% share into the leisure area. And then we go back up here? No. Here. I am going to lose track of this office. Oh, welcome back. Looks like you acquired a new property. Also, those collections you ordered in, the money is ready and waiting for you. A set time after giving the order to begin collections in a given block, you will be able to pick up those profits. Access the menu from the office table and choose Real Estate Royal Management, select Leisure King. Yep. Leisure King, and... Alright. The economy is down by 90%. And we get ourselves $1 million. Alright, let's... Are they gonna ask me to do more? This is exactly when you need to keep watch for one of the 5 picking a money battle. If you lose in that money battle, you lose ownership of a property, so be sure that you always appoint a manager. Got it. It's definitely a lot to keep in mind, though. Ha! True, but I'm sure you'll have it soon, Kiryu-san. Basically, what you want to expand your holdings, grow those properties, and enhance your personal roster. That will build your share and earn your greater profits. The bigger we get by repeating the process, the closer we'll be to shutting down the 5 billionaires. Right. I'm on it. Oh, one more thing. I'm leaving it to you how you spend any profits in operating capital. In this line of work, you end up spending money in all sorts of ways. Invest wisely. That includes investing in yourself. I don't see how I'm going to spend this much money anytime soon, but thanks. I'll use it well. I hope. Yeah, I trust that you will, Mr. President. Wait, I don't remember becoming president. No, but as secretary, it feels natural to call the one making all the business calls the president. Doesn't that feel really secretary-ish to you? Does it? I wouldn't really know, but Yamanoi-san's the president here, isn't he? Well, yes, officially. But what's the harm if Marina-san wants to call you that? I say let her. This is actually my first gig as a secretary, so I'm eager to be as secretary-ish as possible. Oh, you're a first-timer at this too? What did you used to do before Yamanoi-san hired you? It's a big, juicy secret. Yeah, okay. I don't really care what you call me, so knock yourself out. Yay! Let's aim for the top here, Mr. Prez. Right. She seems capable, but she's a little odd. I'll see a lot of headaches in my future, and... Well, I agreed to do this, so I'm going all in. Alrighty. No. I need to go back up. I was going to meet Oda for that drink. He said the place was called Serena on Tanaki. Okay, no. We need to go back up. We need to do the real estate thing properly. Alright, so. Ding dong. Okay, so both of these are food restaurants. This one is looking to do big profits. So maybe it would be worth sending in Hiro. He costs a little bit more, but he should be advisable, and then we'll use you to invest in that. Yes! Alrighty, so that's been invested. Safety influence. These aren't muscles, I just have a big chest. Wow! He just like me! Takeshi Taira is just like me! It's just a big chest. Alright, we're assigning security. And then... I'm all about... Yep. And then that's gonna be our manager. Alrighty. Let's start collecting. So, it's gonna cost us 300,000 yen to start our business. But let's see how we go. The potential for 3 million yen. Shouldn't be too bad. Alrighty. Oop, Jesus. This way. Oh, it's Crazy Kyo! It's Kiryu-san! Yo. How's it hanging? Crazy Kyo from the Yokomichi Silvers. Hard to tell if you're acting like a gentleman or a Yankee as usual. So, what brings you here today? I'm sorry. Actually, I wanted to work on my hooliganism with you, Kiryu-san. Please let me work at your office and help your business. I really doubt you'll be able to be a better hooligan by working at my company. Please! I'll do anything! I don't even want money for it. No. If you're going to help, I'll pay you a salary. Even if we know each other, business is business. You're bitchin'! Yo, I think I just learned some, shit about being a hardcore hooligan right now. Yay, he's now an advisor. He is shit at the food and at the real estate building, but shopping, love... Ooh! Ooh! Double circle for the star. I wonder if that means something. Okay, so maybe triangle is like, yeah, you get a benefit. Circle means it's a super benefit. Thanks for helping me get my pistons pumping. Let's kick it into top gear. Pistols pumping. Pistols pumping. Alrighty. Sup, hooligan? Oh my goodness. Is that who I think? Hang on a second. It is. God damn you, goon. Alrighty, hopefully the shakedown artist is still there. I need it. No! Damn it! He was fucking sleeping. I could have, like, saved here and tried to get my money back. The bastard! Fuck. Oh, more goons. Alrighty, let's do this again. Oh my goodness, it's my security officer. And then punch him in the head. There we go. Got him. That was actually great. I got a security officer to help me. Fuck yeah. Alright, I'm gonna eat something. Just so then that way, in case I find the shakedown artist. Let's see, is he there again? Doesn't look it. Alrighty then, Bacho, do you have any cool techniques?
Oh, boy.
Nothing you can teach me. You haven't upgraded your abilities enough to learn. Damn it. Not great. God damn it, little Incineroar. Alrighty. Intervene. Thank you for the boots. Getting absolutely distracted by me, aren't you? There we go. There we go. Alrighty, let's... Obviously the shakedown artist isn't gonna pop up again around here, so let's just go in for our drink. Also, I need to fix the tabs that I'm currently looking in and such like that, so it's not this one I want to look at. This one. Close the calculator. There's Oda. How's it going, Oda? Oh, it's the karaoke bar again. Phenomenal. Nice to meet you. Do we know you?
いや。
あれ？お客さん初めて？
ああ。
お好きな席にどうぞ。
I think she's just being polite.
俺は待ち合わせで。
緊張してんじゃねえよ。
Oh, it's not Oda. It's Nishiki.
よ。
なんでお前がここに？
行きつけの店の1軒や2軒俺にだってあるさ。 この店は今俺の一番のお気に。な、レナ。
あら、錦山君のお知り合い？あ、もしかして桐生さん？
The Kiryu.
そうだが、
うわ、やっと会えた。一度お会いしてみたかったのよ。錦山君、ヨウとあなたの話しかしないから。
おい、余計なこと言うな。
Lightweight.
ない。とりあえずここ座れよ、桐生。
I really want to get my zebra in like a business suit or something. I reckon I would go very far in being able to wield, like, having a suit for my zebra rather than just keeping to jeans and a
奇
t-shirt.
遇だな。
あ
No kidding.
あ、お前はよく来るのか。
You come here often?
まあな。
Yeah, I
君の
guess.
兄貴たちもまだ
The family higher up still haven't found this place,
落ち
so
着いて飲めるんだ。
I can actually relax while I
そのうち
drink.
おめえも
I was
誘
planning
おう
to
と思ってた。
bring you here soon.
ならちょうど手間が
Guess I saved you the trouble.
そういや、
Oh,
おめえ
Didn't
さ
you
っき
say you were
待ち合
meeting
わせ
somebody
って言
here?
ってたか？
相手は橘不動産の
Oda from Tachibana Real Estate.
先に来て
I
る
would have figured he'd beat me here, but
小田さんならまだ来て
Oda-san
ないわ
hasn't
よ。
been by yet.
さあ、どうぞ。
Here you are.
最初の一杯は
First
私の。
drink is on me, honey.
もともと
It
お
was
題に
supposed to
お
be
ごられ
on
る予
Oda.
定だ。
なんだ。あま
Uh-oh.
り乗客じゃないみたいね
I'm。not getting the sense you're a big spender.
何？
Hey,
俺たちはこれからの
just
人
you
間
wait.
だ
The
からよ。
two of us are rising stars.
今度はユミちゃんにも会ってみたいな。
I'd love to meet
歓迎するわよ。
Yumi-chan too. Bring her by next
あい
time.
つはまだ学生だよ。
She's still in school.
でもなんだった
Actually,
ら
if you really want to
ここで
meet
バイ
her,
トさせて
you
や
should
って
offer her a part-time job.
おい、
Whoa.
ユミに
You
この
want
ままして
Yumi
ホステ
working
ス
as a
させるのか？
hostess in this town?
人気出ると思わない
Don't
か？
you think she'd be great at
あい
it?
つはひまわりの
Even
頃
back
か
at
ら
Sunflower, she had
親
all
父
the older guys' charms.
じゃあ、期待の新人ね。
Sounds like another rising star then.
そうかもな。
You could be right.
なんだか桐生さん。
You sound like Yumi-chan's father.
そこはせめて
Aw,
あ
at
ん
least tell the poor guy he sounds like her brother.
失言ね。
My mistake. Ugh. Sorry, just trying to get it comfortable.
それにしても
I gotta say,
橘不動
the
産の
Tachibana real estate
言った
buddy,
か？
Oda,
ち
right?
ょっと遅いんじゃねえのか？
He's certainly taking his sweet time.
どうする？
What do you want
も
to
う一杯
do?
飲むか？
Grab another round?
いや、待つよ。
No. I'll wait.
先輩をほっと
Would
い
be
て
rude to get plastered on my own
俺だけ
before the
出来上
guy
がっ
who's
ちまう
buying
わけに
even
もいかない
shows
から
up.
な。
Oh, listen to you. Starting to sound like a
もう少しは
reasonable
サラリーマンっぽくなって
salary
き
man.
たじゃねえか。
これくらいで何言ってんだ。
You make it sound like this is some weird
ただの
ritual.
マナー。
It's just basic manners. Common courtesy.
その常識がね
Yeah.
えのがおめえ
And
だっ
since
たの
when
か。
have you had that?
言ってろ。
Wise ass.
ねえ、それならカラオケ
In
でも
that
どう？
case, how about a round of karaoke?
いい
Oh, hell
歌
yeah!
う歌う。
I'm singing.
バカ。
Idiot.
それじゃあ
How is
酒飲んで
him
んのと
walking in
変わ
on
んね
that
え
any
だろ
more respectful than drinking?
つうか、
Besides,
Karaoke
we
なら
did
この前も。
karaoke just the other day.
じゃあお前は
Then
聞い
you
て
can
ろ。
just sit there and listen while I rock it. No complaints then, right?
仕事上がりの時くらい。
I think even a
固いこと言って
businessman's
ますよ
allowed to cut loose a little after work. Just sing. I'm sure Oda will turn up.
しょうがねえな。
You could have
Yosh.
twisted me.
そうと決まれば
Sweet.
全は急
In
ぐ。
that case, let's get to
ミ
it.
ュージックスタート。
Music. Alright then, let's try this.
Go 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 レールから外れた NISIKI 錦不良品の野良錦 Let's go だけど簡単錦おいおいおい錦おいはいイェイイエスマンになりそびれた
justice. What? Breaking the law. Breaking the world. Darkness. Breaking the
少じゃ縛れない波乱分子さ振り上げた握り拳が俺たちのジャッジメント
I am absolutely terrible at this. Have I ever done karaoke IRL? I have done it one time IRL in Brisbane, and I've actually recently done it on VR chat. So I found this. I went to a random room of all things, and there was like all these furries that were doing the karaoke thing, and I went and tried doing it. I went for I'm Just Ken. That was the song I decided to go for because that one I had been listening to a lot, and I felt like a little bit confident that I could like sing the lyrics like, you know, within beats and such like that, but I don't know if I did that well. Also, there's an advertisement that's going to go off shortly, so I recommend getting yourselves a drink, get up, stretch. I'm probably going to be doing the same thing. Lord, no, like, hang on, I'm gonna try and get my back, like, sort of, get up, stretch, get a drink. Part of your everything is TikTok phase with the I'm Just Ken. Yes. This, like, look, I'm Just Ken is just such a great song, okay? Like, it's just so good. Because it's just like, doesn't even matter what I do. I'm always number two. Oh no, Lord, I know I try. Oh, I have this feeling that I can't explain. Da da dee dee ba ba da 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 da. 'Cause I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. Is it this take? What will it take for her to see the man behind the 10 and fight for... Like, I very much love I'm Just Ken, okay? It's such a great... Like, I would play it for you right now, but I don't want to get in trouble if someone decides to, like, take a look right at this minute, especially since I don't have a way of, like, you know, playing the I'm Just Ken without the lyrics in the background thing and do it, like, as a proper karaoke, but it is what it is. Viewer actions such as tipping, in-game interactions, and merch or witless are now supported in Twitch activities feed and alerts through our new deeper with third-party Streamlabs, Throne, Crowd, and Stream elements. It's now easier than ever for you to monitor. Oh, nice. I should check that out when I have the chance. Let's see if I can add in third-party. Okay, so I can connect Stream elements, Streamlabs. I'm gonna authorize Throne, so hopefully that will work. The song that made all the Alpha Bros call that movie sexist. Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Barbie, okay? The alpha males hate it. Hate it. The beta males hate it. Hate it. The feminists hate it. Hate it. And the women who are like, you know, trying to be conservative hate it. Like, everyone has their different takes about Barbie, and it's all for the different reasons. Like, some of the alpha males are like, oh, it's like a... It's giving men like it's making men the fault or some shit like that. And then there's women that are like, oh, the men are giving it too easy in this thing, and all the pressure is on us, and da da da. Like, there's all these different takes about the Barbie film, and it's fantastic. It's a fantastic film. If you've not watched it, I recommend you watch Barbie. It is a great film, okay? I don't care if you're like an alpha, beta, or anything like that. Go watch Barbie when you have the chance. It is an amazing film. You got a cool soundtrack. Everyone is like appropriate for it. Ryan Gosling, once again, he don't miss, okay? Because everyone looked at him in Blade Runner and they're like, I'm that guy. They looked at him at The Nice Guys and they went, I'm that guy. They looked at him at La La Land and they went, I'm that guy. Crazy Stupid Love, I'm like, there's so many times they looked at Ryan Gosling and then they look him in a Drive and they're like, I'm that guy. Even when he went into Barbie, even when he shaved his legs for the film, a lot of men who were very comfortable were like, I'm that guy. And they all wanted, I'm Knuff. They wanted to, and they all joined in with the my name's Ken and so am I. Put your manly hand in mine. It's such a good song. It's such a good movie.
そうよ。
How's
錦山
that?
くんすごい
Amazing
プロみたいだったわ
Nishikima-sama.
だろ
Right?
だろ
Right?
おめえもなんだかんだ言
And
って
for your
ノリノリだった
belly
じゃね
aching,
え
you were
か
pretty into it too.
しょうが
I
ねえ
was
から
only
乗ってや
doing
っ
it
た
to
だけだ
humor you.
たく
Right.
素直じゃねえな
You're so full of it.
本当はお
I
めえ
could
も
tell how
歌いたいん
bad
じ
you
ゃねえ
wanted a
か
mic in your hands.
そんなわけな
Oh,
いだ
come off it.
ったく
Sheesh. La La Land was both Ryan and Emma Stone's dripping with pure cheesy corniness. But here's the, like, that's not even the first time they've acted together. Like they've acted together in Crazy Stupid Love with Steve Carell. And they had Kevin Bacon, Ryan Gosling has been in so many things and has like so many different connections. He's been with like Steve Carell. He's been with fucking Harrison Ford, or he's Dave Bautista, Jared Leto. Like there's so many different connections he has now. And oh, actually, one of the things that in the Barbie film, you know how in filming there are some people that are like, oh, they're method actors or some shit like that. So Jared Leto, when he was like playing as the Joker in the Suicide Squad, he would gift people like rats and weird shit because he was like, oh, as a method actor, I want to invoke like the thing of Joker, and I will not let go of the methodology of Joker until we're done with filming and shit like that. And he was weird. Everyone has like a weird story of like he tried doing weird shit and all that kind of nonsense, and then Margot Robbie is like, oh, let's get matching tattoos for Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad, which they did. When it came to Barbie, Margot Robbie like was just such like, apparently like in the behind the scenes, she like they had a group chat with all the Barbies, and all the Kens had a group chat as well, and there was a group chat for everyone. The only person that wasn't involved with the group chat, not because they were excluded, but just because they didn't know how to do the group chat, was fucking Michael Cera as Alan. He like apparently just didn't go into it or anything like that. But yeah, and then Margot Robbie, like she was just like the sweetest person behind set and such, and like you can feel that it's like this is the reverse of Jared Leto. She's seen like method acting at its worst, and it's like no one does method acting for when they want to be a good person, when they want to invoke Mr. Rogers or Spider-Man or like, you know, just the wholesome characters. Everyone wants to do the method acting for those questionable evils like the Godfather or Joker and shit, and it's like, why? Why is the method actors, like the crazy ones, always for the bad people? Like, can't you just, you know, learn and only keep it within then? Why do you have to, like, be in the mindset of evil all the time when you can, and then not go for, like, you know, the mindset of good when you have to play a good character? Dave Bautista's pure wholesomeness when it comes to wrestling, who turned voice actors, he's better than The Rock and John Cena. Yes. Out of that trinity, Dave Bautista is a lot closer to Arnold Schwarzenegger's sort of progression in the movie industry than The Rock is. Because when you watch a film with like The Rock involved and such like that, number one, you shouldn't have in your contract, you can't lose a fight. It's fucking dumb. Okay? Because you know who else has in their contract they can't lose a fight? Steven Seagal. Do you want to be like Steven Seagal? I don't think so. Why in the world would you want to be, if you could be anyone, why Steven Seagal? Because that's what you end up doing in fighting films when you have a contract that says you can't lose fights. You then end up in the same sort of shit as Steven Seagal. So anytime The Rock goes into a film, very often it's like, even if you have like a big name directing it or writing it, you know who's running the film. You know who everyone is looking to. It's The Rock. It's Dwayne Johnson. That's his name. I almost forgot. Meanwhile, John Cena, he's not to the same level as Batista, but I feel like that's just a case of you know, John Cena is in the same realm as Channing Tatum. Like, before they put Channing Tatum in 22 Jump Street, he was just used as your generic, like, good guy, like in 12 Rounds or, what's the film? G.I. Joe. He was in those sorts of films. And then they threw him into 22 Jump Street and they realized, holy shit, this guy could be, like, a little bit comedic and a good actor. And they started throwing him into other things. I feel like John Cena's in that right now. And it was really great to see him in Peacemaker. Because it's like he fits the Peacemaker thing, and they give him the opportunity to be a fucking idiot like Peacemaker in the TV show. Danny Trejo's contract. I don't know what Danny Trejo's contract. If he's a villain, he has it that he has to die. That's a good one. Okay, I knew there was something about villainy or something like that. That's a good one. I like that idea. Yeah, and such like that. But it's so weird. There's like all those kind of things. But yeah, meanwhile, Dave Bautista. He is in so much shit, and he, like, whenever he is in a film, it doesn't feel like, you know, because when you see The Rock in a film, he's playing The Rock. Dwayne Johnson is playing Dwayne Johnson in a different shade, is what it feels like. I have not seen Jungle Cruise, but it feels like it would be the same as when he was in Jumanji or Rampage. I have not seen the spy flick that he's in, but I feel like that would be the same as Fast and the Furious or Hobbs and Shaw or fucking Welcome to the Jungle with Sean William Scott. Like, Dwayne Johnson just feels like Dwayne Johnson, whereas Dave Bautista, sure, you know who Dave Bautista is, but I'm not watching Blade Runner 2049 and thinking, oh shit, that's Drax, and he's playing like Drax. No, he's not. He's not playing like Drax. You watch him in fucking Glass Onion, and he invokes that fucking what's his name? What's the name of the podcaster? Joe Rogan. He invokes that like Joe Rogan-esque and such like that instead of like, oh, it's just Drax or something like that. And then he's been in like comedy spy flicks. I don't know why. So many action stars, they will go into a comedic spy flick. Jackie Chan did it. Dave Bautista did it. Vin Diesel did it. It's crazy. I feel like we're also discussing Chris Pratt a bit. Chris Pratt is just Chris Pratt. I think that's the problem is when you start having actors and like that just, you know, Chris wasn't a wrestler. We're just taking wrestlers who turn actors. Chris who went from Parks and Rec to Guardians of the Galaxy flawlessly. Oh yeah, no, he wanted to get fit. Like Chris Pratt, I like as much shit as we give him about the whole voice role and shit like that, he's not half-assing it. Like it's ridiculous. There was a Hardware article that was like, oh, Chris Pratt puts on the perfect Mario impression during a press junket and never comments about it ever again. Fun fact, he goes onto a morning talk show and he explains of like, oh yeah, when it came to finding the voice, like, you know, obviously everyone is thinking of the accent, and he does like the perfect fucking "it's a me, wahoo," and he's like, but we have to do more than that. And I'm just so much of me is just sitting there of like, you just did like the perfect Mario accent when you did wahoo, it's a me, Mario. Like, you did it. You did it in a morning show, and you were like, and they didn't want it. It was like, how did you do that? And then they throw him into Garfield. And I can't help but I listen to Garfield, and it's just like, it's just Chris Pratt. It's just Emmett from the Lego movie. There's a lot of Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool and in Blue Shirt Guy. Yeah, no, fair enough. Like, but here's the thing as well, is that in Free Guy, for Ryan Reynolds, that was a project for him. That was definitely a case of, it's I'll get distracted. I'm sorry. I need to keep on going with this story. Otherwise, it's gonna. Yes, Chris Pratt is voicing Garfield, not Ron Offerman, not any other kind of actor, not even like fucking Nolan North or some shit. Instead, it's Chris Pratt as Garfield. It's ridiculous. Anyway, this Oda cat is seriously late by now. From how you talk about him, he doesn't seem like the flaky type. Really? I hope he hasn't been in an accident or anything. You're gonna get a drink. See you in a bit. Oh no, he has been in an accident. Shit. That's not great.
太田
Oh. Yakuza. Oh, it's what's a Mahuzi? When I found out there was a new Garfield movie, I desperately wanted to be Bill Murray because those old Garfields. Here's the thing, I don't think Bill Murray liked Garfield. They made it as a joke in Zombieland, but I think that was actually like a genuine opinion of him. But they were like, "Oh, do you have any regrets?" That's Bill, and he's like, "Garfield, maybe." Like, I don't know if he liked doing Garfield.
阿波野の
Awano.
兄貴
Sir.
なんでここに座ってろ錦山
Sorry, I'm just gonna listen to them talk in this
こいつら
cutscene.
に見覚えあんだろ桐生その説はお世話になりました桐生さん
お前ら戦友やのお前らが織田をやったのか
その前にお前がうちのしのぎ邪魔したんだろ立花不動産って言えこそこそ登場会に盾ついてる連中で組抜けて早々お前も義理ってものが分かってね親父ここは俺がこいつ知
Can't
ってるか
handle shit.
うちの岡部ってもんだ例の戦友屋のしのぎはこいつの式
Welcome back, Xerix.
かわいそうにおめえのせいでけじめつけちまった
Damn, everyone's losing a finger.
おめえ今度は何やらかした下っ端が口を挟むんじゃねえぞおれ
That's not. Oh, Jesus. That's a. Please don't, like, be a brain problem.
俺がこちらの片木さんと話してんだろうが錦山よガキがシャシャル出てくん
Punk
な
ass bitch like you.
錦山は関係ね
Got nothing to do with
えこいつ
this.
とは
I just ran
た
into
ま
him
たま
by
居合わせ
chance.
ただけです
ああでなくても次はてめえだねえ親父もうこいつやっちまっていいっすかこいつの面見てるだけで俺らはもうおう片木の皆さんに迷惑かけねえようにな店の外でやれほらここで錦山と飲んだら美人のママも一緒にな来いや、Kiryu。
すぐに戻る
Alrighty. What do you think? You think we're gonna get into, like, a big fight or something?
そんじゃこっちはこっちで楽しくやろうや。
Oh.
錦山。
That doesn't sound good. Look at that suit. You don't know how much I want my zebra to wear a suit. I tried, putting Kiryu's suit on me. It doesn't work very well. These body proportions are absolute fucked. And Wolk is very busy.
俺はよ
Way I see
お
it,
前が正気
you
とは
must have
思わ
lost
ね
your goddamn mind. Not 2 steps out the family door and you're pissing all over it. Your little stunt cost us our cut of 10 million
1000
yen.
万からのしのぎが
You got a death wish? That's on you. But find a way out that doesn't dick over the rest of us just doing our job.
何つった
Why are you still standing? Get on the ground. Hands and knees. You even understand the position you're in, you dipshit?
なんか勘違いして
I
る
think
ら
there's
しい
been a
な
misunderstanding.
え
Oh?
あんたらに詫びる
I
べ
have
きは
no
ね
intention of apologizing to
お
you.
となしく殴られてやる
No
理
reason
由
to
も
let
ね
you slap me around either.
やる気なのか
You wanna fight us?
そう
Seriously? Huh. You're a laugh a minute, kid.
おれ
Go
やっ
on.
てみろ
Take a swing.
早くやれや
You love that the Yakuza designed their tats to fit perfectly under their suits? Well, yeah, like, Yakuza, you know, they did the whole tattoo thingamadiggy, and then they would have whatever they needed to cover up. But then also, they already gave the tattoos to Kiryu and Majima and all them back in, because technically speaking, this is the, I want to say sixth game released in the Yakuza series. It's technically the first game chronologically speaking, but in release order, this is the sixth game. We've already got like our full-on history about the tattoos and such like that. And, you know, as cool as it would be having a full-on white dragon tattoo on your back all crazy like that, someone from like within the Yakuza said like that is unlikely for someone to gain like as low as Kiryu was. Lieutenant Awano's right upstairs. Came out here in person. If you're ready to do this with him around, well, I'd say you got balls, but no goddamn brain.
俺の仲間が血
My
流して
friends are bleeding. Right. Nishikema and that Tachibana real estate buddy of yours. That guy coughed up your whereabouts after just a couple minutes.
可愛がっただけですぐてめえのいとこ
Bam. Son of a bitch.
何がさ
Threw your line in the sand.
てめえらと
You
クリス
crossed
トで
that
超えて
a
んだ
while ago. Here we go. The sixth game was meant to be the last game in the franchise. I didn't know that. But I guess that's why they bring in Ichiban as like a as a new Whatsamahoozies.
See ya! See ya!
Yes. Yes. Got him. Granted, I used like a lot of my resources just to get Judgment and Like a Dragon that came out after are meant to be in-universe spin-offs. Yes, and Like a Dragon is getting a sequel as well. Son of a bitch. Oh, there's the lieutenant. So the third kid can throw a punch after all. No wonder Kuze was having trouble. Did one of them just hit the gritty on you? I'm not too sure. I don't know what the gritty is. gotten way more Yakuza since leaving the family. Funny how that shit works.
次はあんたか
You want next? Try
やっ
me.
てみろよ
Alright. He asked for it. Oh,
キリュウよ
come on.
おめ
Why are you with
えなんで
Tachibana
立
Real
花不
Estate?
動産にやる
What? Nani? Nani? Nani?
分
Nani?
かってるぜ
Not like I don't already
指
know.
示されてんだろ
Captain Kazuma's orders, no.
俺が
The
わざわざ
only
こん
reason
な
I
山まで
dragged my
出
ass
てきた
out here on a job like this is because I heard you were wrapped up with Tachibana
絡
now.
んでるって聞いたぞ
You, Captain Kazuma's
わ
little
しらの
pet.
息が変わったおめえやな俺はよ
As far as I'm concerned, it looks an awful like Kazuma's using Tachibana Real Estate to make a
腹の
move
一
on
つ
the
を追っ
empty
てる
lot.
と踏んでるんだ
What do you say? Am I right?
どうだ
Or am I right?
俺の言ってること間違ってるか
Kiryu could be
どう思
dumb.
うが
Think whatever you want. You're pretty shit at hiding things.
下手だな
The way I see it, that's all part of your charm,
おめえ
though,
のそう
huh?
いうとこ気に入ってんだなあ立花
Has Tachibana found the lot's owner yet?
もう殻の一粒の持ち主を見つけたのか
Nope.
そうか
Not yet, huh?
まだか
But he's at least got a clue by now.
俺は掴んだはずだ
俺は何も言ってねえぞ
I haven't said a word.
ねえいい
Didn't have to. Your eyes tell me everything I want to know. I love how easy to read you are.
勝手にや
I don't have time for this.
なあキリ
Hey, Kiryu. Set me up with a meeting with your boss over at Tachibana Real
合わ
Estate.
せろやつはうま
He's
い
been doing a good job staying hidden. Having you arrange it seems like the quickest route to the guy.
取るばい
俺はもうどう
I
ぞ
left the Dojima family. I've got no reason to do you any favors now.
やってくれるや
You do this for me,
親のため
and we'll forget about this squatter business. And the fact that you and Kazuma made a move on the empty
一
lot.
つに手出そうとしたこともな
Or would you rather paint a big old target on your back? Every crew under the Dojima family would be gunning for you.
組織からだ
Is the audio... Oh. Hang on a second. Ding. Sources. Turn off the PC. I wonder why why it does that. Twitch alerts, game capture. Alright, let's give this a try. Can't handle it? You can
無
handle
所
it.
に逃げ込んだとしても無駄だぜ死ぬまで追い
Now, don't think you can run away to prison. We'd stay on your ass till you drew your last breath, wherever you hide.
やってみろ
Who eats Japanese food a lot? Oh, Blue Foxy Nicey Icy.
聞いてるか
You got your brain plugged in as I'm telling you this? This shit doesn't end with you. After you're in the dirt, we move to your next of kin. Nishikiyama. Your bro. Keep this up. He's collateral damage. Your damage.
助けてや
Do the guy a favor.
あんた
And you? What do you plan to do if you meet Tachibana?
殻の一つの情報を洗いざらい
Beat every bit of intel he's got on the empty lot out of him.
その後部外
That's
者
all.
にご
Well,
解除願う
that and send a message to outsiders. Meaning,
殺す
have him killed. I'll give you till morning to decide. Hand over Tachibana, or die in his place.
おめえが死ぬか
Take your pick and call me
絡
tonight.
んで今夜返事がねえと
If I don't hear from you, the hunt's on. We'll be coming for your head to add to the collection. I do like salmon as well. My favorite is aburi, though. I very much love the barbecue taste of aburi salmon. Yay, 20,000! Worth 5 log cabins. Nice. New save. We are now on to Chapter 6, The Yakuza Way. Oburi is great. Alright, hopefully Oda will stay alive. Mama, that's enough. Thanks. Sorry for the trouble. Ah.
Kiryu.
Kiryu.
すまねえ。
I'm sorry, bro. I didn't do a damn thing to help you
いや
out.
それはこ
No,
っちのセリフだ
it should be me apologizing. I
結
went and
局お
got
前
you
のことまで
involved.
巻き込んじまった
Sorry.
悪い
Sushi is a fun thing to do with, like, sushi I feel like is a great thing as like a group thing where you're sitting at a table, because here's the thing, you only need, like, you're given small plates and you're meant to like eat the thing as quick as possible. You're not supposed to like take bites. So it's really easy. You just pick up one plate, your friend is talking, you get the first sushi in, you might give a response, and then you get the second sushi in. If you want to talk, you start talking. That way they grab their own plate and they eat their sushi. Or you keep them doing the talking, they ramble on like I do right now, and you're just, you know, grabbing whatever plates of sushi you want. It's fantastic.
おい、お前。
What are you gonna do now?
これからどうする気だ。
I'm gonna get some money.
さっきの青野ってやつ
That
に
Amano guy told you to give up the boss, didn't you?
さっきおめえが下で
Amano mentioned it while you were busting heads downstairs.
これから堂島
The
組
Dojima family is kicking off an all-hands search for the president of Tachibana Real Estate.
ああ
Yeah.
俺からもお前
He
を説得しろって
suggested I start trying to convince you too.
立花を渡すことが
He wants to make sure you know giving up Tachibana is the only way you get out of this alive.
よ
Come on.
う社長
The boss is going around town right now, digging enough info to get your ass off the hook for that murder.
その社長
You planning to serve his head up to Dojima on a
堂島
platter?
組に差し出すのかあんた黙ってろ
You stay out of this.
なんだと
Excuse you?
断りゃ
If not Tachibana, it'd be Kiryu's head on that plate. With the whole Dojima family on the hunt, there's no escape. But it's fine with you that Tachibana has to die.
てめえらが
You shitheads are the one who dragged Kiryu into this.
よせ
Ease off.
相手は
He's
怪
been
我人
hurt,
だ西
Nishiki.
それに
Besides, I already knew I'd be making an enemy of the Dojima family
俺の承知
eventually.
の上だった
Just happened sooner rather than later.
思っているそのタイミングが
You're seriously planning to go head to head with them? You've gotta be out of your fucking mind. Not even Kazuma-san could have known things would get this bad.
それは確かにそうかもしれない
You might actually have a point there.
もともと立花社
Even
長
Tachibana was planning to have the empty lot in his pocket long before going to war with Dojima family.
つもりでいた堂島組にと
To
っては
Dojima, that little plot's worth more than 1 billion yen.
それをうまく使え
Play that trump card right, and we could buy control over a huge chunk of Kamurocho. We'd be a force even the Dojima family couldn't shuffle out of the deck so easily.
ただ
But now, we never figured the Dojima lieutenants would force our hand this early in the game.
天野の
You
兄
guys underestimated Awano.
あの人
Can't lump him in with a brute like Kuze. He's actually pretty sharp.
とにかく
I need to talk to the president. Mama,
ママ電話
can I use your phone? Mummy! Phone! Mummy! Phone!
助かる道だってあるはずだうちが
There's gotta be some way everyone gets out of this alive. If we can pin down the empty lot's owner, we get the chips to bargain with the Dojima family. You better be
社
right.
長小田です
Sir, it's Oda. I'm with Kiryu. It's in a bar called Serena. Mama!
それで堂島組の青野が
Yes,
社長
sir.
を渡せと
So
聞
then
いて
Dojima's gonna be so fine. Then boom.
うちが絡む人
Boing.
気づい
My
て
day
ます
do be so fine. Hi there, Sir Dragon. Welcome to the stream. How's the audio sounding, by the by?
社長は今すぐ身を隠してください
Sir, you need to hide. Fast. I don't think we can trust Kiryu anymore. He might sell you out to Dojima.
おいちょっと待て
いいんだ錦
It's fine,
でもよ
Nishiki. That solves that. No, even I don't know where the boss is gonna be. Shit. Nothing personal. No, it makes sense.
騒がせたな。
Sorry for all the trouble, Mama. I know all that must have been frightening.
うちの心配なんて
You're worrying about me?
それより
Forget it.
これから
What are you gonna do now?
おい待て、キリ
Hey,
ュウ。
wait. Kiryu,
おめえ
what the hell are you planning?
今さらジタバタして
Panicking
も
now
始まん
won't
ね
get me anywhere. I knew when I left the family that I'd be walking this
一
path
人でやるつ。
alone. Also, how dare you, Bookie, de-himbo
まず
me.
はクゼを捕まえて
I'll nab Kuze, then clear my
俺の
name.
濡れ衣を晴らす。
Back to square one.
振り出しに戻ったな。
バカ野郎。
Idiot.
この状況でそんなこと
Think you're in any mood to pull that kind of stunt off now? Doesn't matter. Still my only
俺
option.
はやるしかねえんだ。
Back to clearing my name, huh? Come to think of it, I still haven't been back to the empty lot out to a proper do-over. They may have cleared out by now. Could be worth going to take a look. That sounds like a terrible idea. Is that a gold suit man? Goon.
邪魔だ。
Dora! Nice. Nice. The suit won't fit still. That's not how 3D modeling works. Do you want to try and use Blender? I don't think so. I would be welcome for whoever is available to do 3D nonsense to give me a suit. I can give you like an FBX file, so then that way you can like use that as your means of figuring out portion size and everything. Where is the... Yes! Oh! I just hit him in the nuts so hard. Cookie for Bookie, but now it's gone. You can use a blender. But can you use the program blender? Oh wait, this way. Cookie for Bookie once again. Oh, god damn it. Yes! Oh, yes! Give me all your money, bitch! I did it! I beat the shakedown artist! First time on this stream as well! Yes! Clip it! Shakedown, even when I was dehimboed. 32 million yen. Mine. I won. That teaches you to pick your battles more carefully. You did better than I expected. That's the most fun I had in a long time. You might have enjoyed it this time, but bother me again and I'll make sure you don't feel like laughing. You're funny. No, I take that back. You're damn annoying. I've never been this pissed off in my life. I bet it would feel great to take all this pent-up anger out on someone. Tell you what, I'll leave you alone until I can't hold in my rage anymore. And then, when you're better... well, you better leave town if you want to reach a ripe old age. Fuck you, shakedown artist. There's no talking to a guy who attacks others for no reason. I'll have to toughen myself up just in case. The good news is I can now... abilities. Brawler. Let's have a look. That's 30,000. Will rise when you taunt an enemy. Put up your guard right after an enemy breaks through it. Can only be used when calm on the first meter. A ferocious assault unleashed after being knocked down. Looks like fun. Bam. So that's number 3. That's number 4. So 100. So 100 million, 100 million, 100 million, 100 million. Alrighty, let's see what Rush can give us. 30 million, 30 million, 30. Alright, so we still need like 30 million.
Oi.
What are you selling here? What's the password? First time here? Sorry, got nothing to sell if you don't know the password. My merchandise is special. The kind stores don't carry. Get someone to tell you the password if you want to do business. Damn it. But I have no leads on where to get it. I guess we'll forever. Got what I need now. Oh. Man doing something suspicious. He's doing something suspicious. Also, I think... Lol. Okay. I will get to you later. For now, I need to head to the empty lot. Cutscene time. I wonder if they won't recognize him because of the different suit. Aha. How did you know he'd be there?
立花。
なんでここに？
警察が調べ尽くした現場です。もう真犯人につながるような証拠は残っていませんよ。
Uh-huh.
分かっている。
You know that much.
うちの情報網を使っ
I
て
have looked into Kuze using my
クズを洗い
network.
ました。
If he really is the one who framed you, he must have hired a killer to perform that hit. And yet, Kuze left no sign of any such activity.
どういうことだ？
Meaning what?
つまり
Meaning that the one responsible for setting you up is not likely to be him. Someone other than Kuze is behind this.
何？
Nani?
今
That is all the information I have at present.
ここまでです。
I want to pass that on to you in person.
そのため
You
だ。
came here just to tell me that?
え
Yeah.
え、ですが
But
ご心
please,
配なく、
do not worry.
私
I
は
have
カムロ
no
町から
intention of
姿を消し
disappearing
はし
from
ません。
Kama Roadshow.
堂島組が
I did think that it would take the Dojima family a while longer to catch on to your activities, but the situation is still well within expected tolerances.
その割に
Oda
俺は
sure doesn't
淡
seem
く
to think
ってた
so.
小田さんにも
I have yet to
伝えてない
inform
ことで
Oda-san
す
of this. But, as it happens, I have located the owner
こ
of
の
the
殻の
empty
一つ
lot.
の所有者を見つけました。
え
訳あってまだ接触
Though for various reasons, I have yet to make contact.
その人物を
Regardless,
内側を抑え
if we can find them and acquire the new empty lot, the Dojima family will come to us, hat in hand,
我々に土地を売って
begging
ほ
us
し
to
いと
sell
頭を
it.
下げることになる。この土地の価値は
Such is the power this plot can wield, which is why, Kiryu-san, I must insist that you stay alive until we can broker such a deal.
無理な相談でし
Or
ょうか。
does that seem an unreasonable request?
殻の一粒の
How
持
long
ち
until you can pin down the
主い
lot's
つ抑え
owner?
られるんだ。
一日ください
Give。me one day. I must ask, however, that you tell no one, not even Nishikiyama-sama or Kasawaga.
柏木さんだ。
Kashiwaga.
あんたを
You
今
realize I could just sell you out to Awano and get taken off the
俺
Dojima
は
hit
同
list
時の軍に狙
altogether.
われずに済むんだがな。
あなたがそう
If
いう
you
人
were
な
the
ら
sort of man to do that, I
私
certainly
は
would
こんな
not
と
be
ころに
visiting you in
の
such
こ
a
のこ顔
place
を
as
出したりしま
this.
せんよ。明日連絡しま
I will
す。
get in touch with you
ど
tomorrow.
うかそれまで
Until then, please stay safe and out of the Dojima family's hands, Kiryu-san.
桐生さん。
Nani? All I can do now is wait for word from Tachibana. Better head home and lie low there. Anything interesting here? No. Moving on. Dun, 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 dun.
おい
Whoa there, buddy. Not so fast. You planning to just waltz past without a word? You want through here? You gotta pay the toll. Look at this baby-cheeked man. Look at him. Look at him. Isn't he the cutest? Look at this baby-cheeked man. This is a boss baby right here. A shakedown. I feel bad for the guy, but I can't really afford to get
Oi.
involved right now. Oi, you mute or something, Blondie? You don't want to get hurt? Let's see some cash already. Oh, if you must insist. Just be sure to pick it all up, hmm? Eh? Huzzah! Whoa! It's money! 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 Right on! I've never seen so much dough in one place. Whoa, hey, I had my hands on that one first. Keep your grubby mitts off my dough. Shut up and move your frickin' leg. Oh, ho, ho, ho. My, peasants truly are a sordid lot. Oh no. Did you want some of my money as well? No. Then I shall be on my merry way. Till next time. Cheers.
おい
Wait. Do you always throw wads of cash just to clear the road like that? But of course. Why? At that point you cough the money, it's no different from getting mugged. Aha! I suppose commoners just don't understand. Excuse me? You see, when you're not just wealthy, but obscenely rich, physical capital is just dust. It just accumulates, gets in the way, really. That was loose change. I won't miss it. No, he's one of those.
そう
On the other hand, having my precious time wasted by base ruffians like them is a serious loss. If I can buy that time back with coin, why, I pay as much as it takes. Buying time. Literally. Precisely so. Why not give it a try if you're curious? Give what a try? Let fly with a great whopping wad of cash.
いや
Oh, no, I wouldn't. I'm just not in that big of a rush, honestly. Truly, you have never been out on a stroll and felt the other pedestrians were in your way? Not ever? Well, sure, I guess a few times. Oh, you see? Now give it a try right now. I'm sure you'll feel the thrill of sending those humans hurdling scuttering. Sure. But I don't have that much cash to burn on a whim. Not to worry. I will be your financier this one time. As a special gift, you need focus only on enjoying the cash. The rush of flinging cash confetti. Okay, deal. If you're really going to pay for it, I'll give it a go. Press X while walking around the city to make a handful of your money. Take a handful of your money and fling it into the air. Anyone nearby will flock to the crash and grab when they can. Keep in mind, the next time you're in a hurry, try using it to attract the woman behind you. Money!
Huh?
Huh? On narrow streets and alleys, you often find your way completely blocked by punks, eager for a fight. Walking around them simply isn't an option in these situations. Distracting them with a mountain of cash, however, is literally, they'll literally leap at the chance to fill their pockets. Had hopped over to Blue Fox's stream for a bit to see what he was up to. He's up to Paper Mario nonsense. Now you're back from Blue Foxy Nicey Icy. We're gonna be flinging money! So much money! 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 Now simply strut past them while they're busy scrambling over each other to pick it all up. Money! But judiciously wasting money, you can buy your way out of most unnecessary conflicts. Keep that in mind the next time you're in a hurry. Not likely gonna happen. Oh, truly magnificent money blasting! For a moment, I completely forgot you were merely another plebeian. Another plebeian. Is that what being rich is like? Honestly, I can't say it feels very good to waste it like that. Kiaru is dressed fancy. That's Kiryu! That's Kiryu! Kiryu! Not Kiaru. Kiryu. Perhaps, but aren't these times when you're far too hurried to be embroiled in the pretty squabbles of the underclass? That's not... Okay, yeah. Right. Really, whoever said time is money is an utter buffoon. Time is far more precious resource. It's finite. Fair enough. I can see a weird sort of logic to that. Then I've made my case. Take my advice. If you're ever in the danger of being dragged into a meaningless fight, just let loose with a heaping helping of legal tender. So you're clearly loaded. But how'd you earn all that cash? Huh? I take it you've caught a case of money fever, Maybe. I'm just thinking it'd be convenient if there was a quick way to make some more cash. Common sense tells me that's crazy to wish for, but I might as well ask. Oh, but there is! Seriously? The very epitome of high risk, high reward. It's been my golden goose, and now I dine on diamond foie gras. It being... Head for Theatre Square. If you're truly a man of means, you'll find your way from there. What am I looking for? Oh, you'll know it when you see it. A paradise exclusively reserved for the upper echelons of wealth and class. Though naturally, that isn't my only source of income. I'm quite the diverse portfolio. Or should I say, we put most of our capital to work in a certain system that gives rise to considerable profits. If you wish to hear more about that as well, drop by Vincent. You'll find me there most of the time. Vincent. Got it. This has been a most stimulating use of my time. Ta-ta! God, I love his voice. I just made up that voice on the spot. I just tried to find the floppiest of the voices. A man with all the money but none of the sense. Real British sense. Tachibana may have new intel tomorrow, but that doesn't mean everything will be over then. I should tuck away as much cash as I can now, so I'm ready for whatever comes. He said I'd find a way to make big money at Theatre Square. It's worth a look. Ta-ta! Money! Great big piles of money!
Oi.
Hey, excuse me. You want something? I saw you say a password. Can I get the password? I can tell you, but of course, many friends died to get password. They died? All been passed over now. Money! Actually, you look strong, man. Maybe you can... What is it? No, anyway, you want the password? Tell me the password. Sure, tell me. I want to know what the guy's password. Oh, I like you, stupid, but I like you. Okay, I'll tell you. There's a condition. You do job for me. What is it? A simple job. Very easy. I explain now. You listen. You go to Taihai Boulevard East. Find restaurant. Yurakute. In front, find woman named Monmon. You talk to Monmon, okay? 2 things. You ask her plans for today and tomorrow's weather. You got it? Plans for today and tomorrow's weather. That's it. You ask her, come back and tell me what she says. Yes? Very simple. Got it. I don't get what's going on, but I'll have to find Monmon and ask her about plans for today and tomorrow's weather. For you. Right. You know, screw this up, okay? Short speech, shorter temper. Alright, hang on. I need to get to... Oh. That honestly worked amazing. Said I should go to if I want to make big money. Been waiting all day for this. Excuse me. Right this way, sir. Oh my god, this is where they go for the fancy shit. Beyond the door. Alrighty, hang on. And then... Right. Oh, it's the, Oh, Kiryu-chan, ciao! Hey, it's been a while. You still making shows that bring hopes and dreams to people's lives? Oh, easy for you to say, big Mr. Producer. Hey, listen, I've got a chance here to drive my viewers bananas, not just in Japan, but all over the world. How do you figure? You're a real producer after all, Kiryu-chan. The chance to whip the whole world into a frenzy got your attention. You know I'm just an amateur, but okay, I'm willing to listen to your fairy tale. What's going to drive the world crazy? The crazy thing is, no fairy tale at all. What? Is this enough of a hint for ya? Woo! What was that all about? Kiryu-chan, don't tell me you don't know who Miracle Johnson is. Miracle Johnson? Oh, I get it now. I just heard about him. He's some kind of singer, right? Seriously? Kiryu, baby, are you telling me you haven't heard of the pop star prince until today? The world famous? Famous to the world, maybe. But to this Kamurocho Japan, why should that matter? Kamurocho is part of the... Fine. It's not important. C'est la vie. Basically, Basically, Miracle is in Japan to shoot his new music video. But, and this is strictly hush-hush, there's been a little problemo rolling up the El Shuto. You catch my drift? Yeah, you're saying there's a problem. Yes. I'm convinced there's only one man capable of solving the problem. Cookie for Hawaiian pizza. Welcome, it's been a while, Hawaiian pizza. I'm convinced there's only one man capable of solving the problem. That's you, Kiryu-chan. I've been looking for you everywhere. I can't go into detail because it's a top secret mission, but will you help me? Let the world ablaze, you and me. Sure, let's do it. Fine, let's hear it. Now you're talking. That's what you are, an ace producer. So, what's the problem? It's the superstar himself, actually. Miracle's refusing to perform until his demands are met. We're at a standstill. What? Is this guy being a diva? Not really, no. He's just really insisted on doing the music video exactly right, and he won't compensate. What is this music video about? To be honest, I don't really get it. Apparently it involves Miracle dancing his way through hordes of attacking zombies. Nani? Zombies? Yeah, but if we were to really attack, he would get hurt. So he told the extras to take it easy when they swarm him. But Miracle got wind of that and blew his stack. He says the zombies had to attack him like they mean it. Otherwise, the action won't feel real. So he's refusing to do it. There's a lot I don't get here. Like, how can a zombie video feel real to begin with? Who knows? Those Westerners, man. They're so crazy. But this is gonna be surefire hit if it happens. Well, I understand the problem now. What I don't get is how I fit in the picture. You're the man to keep the Miracle safe from the zombies, baby! You want me to protect him? Yeah. For the sake of realism, the zombies are gonna go all out to attack Miracle. Try to eat him and everything. But we don't. We can't let the pop star prince get hurt. That's where you come in, my old friend. Sounds like a strange gig, but it seems simple enough. Of course, of course! Isn't it just the perfect job for you? Let's go get the deets from the music video producer. Sure. Oh my god, look at the chubbies. Da, 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 da. How's it going, Hawaiian Pizza? You doing alright? I finally got the man for the job. Oh, it's you, puppy. Sorry to keep you waiting. Introducing the powerhouse producer with the biggest brains, brawns, and balls in all modern mass media. Here's Kiryu-chan. I just realized none of you heard me with this voice. I am tiring myself out with this voice as well. I need a drink. Hang on. Thank you for the boops, Hawaiian Pizza. I hope you're doing okay. Bam. Excuse me. Alright. I'll leave that advertising for a sec. I need to double check a few things. Okay, so I don't know who that person is. I don't know who that person is. Yay, he's still doing shit. Alrighty then. Do 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 do. Excuse me. It's been going good. Oh, Hawaiian Pizza. I had pizza today. I made my own pizza. I got myself a base from Woolies. I already had the sauce. I put 2 different kinds of meats and 3 different kinds of cheeses. I went for mozzarella, cheddar, and parmesan. Those are my 3 cheeses. I think those were like the best cheeses to use for a pizza. And then I have Hungarian salami and pepperoni salami as my 2 meats. I reckon that would have been a nice little combination of the 2. I'm getting text messages. Hang on a second. Donk. Thank you for the peck dance. I greatly appreciate Hawaiian Pizza. We'll be done with advertisement in about 30 seconds. Excuse me. Throat. So yeah. Bonk. Drop that. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Boom, 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 boom. So yeah. Once the advertisement is over, I'll like get back into the game and I'll say these lines again because I realized I said them while I was what's-mahoozies, while I said them while there was an advertisement running, so no one would have heard them. The ads are over for you. Good to hear. Alrighty then. Let's do this one more time. Sorry to keep you waiting. Introducing the powerhouse producer with the biggest brains, brawn, and balls in this side of Japan. It's Kiryu-chan. I'm Kazuma Kiryu. Good to meet you. Oh, so you're the famous Kiryu. I was told you have an extraordinary cool aura. I see it's true. I'm Mr. Spinning, the director. Welcome to our team, Mr. Kiryu. Gee. It's a famous director named Steven Spielberg. Oh, sorry, not Steven Spielberg. Stefan Spinning. Gee. Oh. Nice. Good work. Mr. Spinning, the director. Who. No relation to Steven Spielberg. Oh, Mr. Kiryu, I should also introduce you to my PA, Lewis. He's on the team, too. What a shitty personal assistant. Howdy. Welcome to the family. Good to meet you. So, Kiryu-chan, is this blowing your mind or what? I'm sure you already know, but just in case, this man here is none other than the director of the massive worldwide hit franchise, Indian Jeans. India what? You're breaking my balls here, Kiryu-chan. Are you a hermit? How do you not know these man's films? Sorry. Mr. Kiryu, perhaps you're more of a sci-fi guy. Oh, right. Kiryu-chan, have you ever had to know this one? A.T. You know, the one about the boy who rides with an alien on a unicycle over the moon. Sure. I guess I might have heard about it. Yeah, see? I know even you had to know Mr. Spinning is an amazing director. Right, Kiryu? Right?
そうだな。
Yeah, right. Haha, it's no big deal. Honestly, though it was #1 at the box office worldwide. Sure was. So, Mr. Spinning, with you at the helm of this music video, are we anticipating another worldwide hit? Absolutely. The fans all over the world are waiting for this one. I don't want to waste any more time, but I need to confirm one thing before I describe your mission. Is that okay? Sure. We're here to film Miracle Johnson's latest music video. Do you understand what that means? The whole world's going to be watching? Clever boy. But that's only half of it. The full answer is that this has to be the most exciting music video ever made. The failure to achieve that is unacceptable. No failures here. Yeah! Wow, that's heavy. You have to hand it to Hollywood. They work on a scale we can only dream of. Don't you agree, Kiryu-chan? Yeah, it's huge. Good. I'm glad you get the picture. Hey, guys. Mr. Johnson is ready to enter the room. Oh, good. Sounds like Miracle Johnson's about to join us. Let me introduce you to him. Come on in, Miracle. Oh my god, who is that? That's fucking...
Hey!
Michael... Hey, Miracle. Looking rad as ever. You know it's Spinning. I was born cool. Born to do it, yeah!
Hey, man!
Hey, man. You my partner? No. Kiryu-chan, what are you talking about? Of course you're partners. Oh, that's right. Miracle, that's Mr. Kiryu, your partner today. He's a little shy. Oh, okay, no problem. I heard about Japanese people being shy, so that's just human nature. It's all good. Hey there, boner. I'm Kiryu. Glad to meet you. Woo! I'm Miracle Johnson. Nice to meet you. Oh, yeah. Likewise. Hey, man. Have they told you about the mission, Mr.
い
Kiryu?
や
A little, but I don't get it. I could use some more info. Okay, since you're all here, I'll explain what's happening. The setting is here. Kamurocho, one of Asia's, no, one of the world's premier entertainment district. Zombie hordes suddenly emerge and attack Miracle on the street. Miracle evades the attacking swarm and dances his way through the land of the rising sun, the very picture of cool. It's a tabloid truly befitting our pop star prince. It's gonna be funky, yeah! Woo!
おい
Hey, so why zombies? I still don't get what's going on. Apparently, that's really into that sort of thing overseas. I mean, if a big Hollywood director is behind it, it's gotta be a new trend. I think this city's fabulous. It's always glitters and shines. I love it here. Kamurocho's like an amusement park. Yes, and once the stage is set for a close encounter of the undead kind, Miracle will spin and weave his magic dance. Miracle Johnson sounds similar to someone. I think it's meant to be like Michael Jackson or some shit, and this is Steven Spielberg. Mr. Kiryu, this is where you come in. Your job is to escort Miracle and protect him from the walking dead. I told the extras playing zombies to attack me like they mean it. If the danger's not real, the thrill isn't either. I tried to stop him, but the pop star prince was injured on set. The whole world would be screaming for my head on a stake. That'd be bad news. Who's bad? No, spinning. I told you how serious I am about this. Compromising my artistry would be a betrayal to all my loyal fans. Miracle, you're the ultimate entertainer. Yeah! Oh, stop spinning. That's nothing the whole world doesn't already know. I'm sorry about this, Kiryu. I feel responsible. No, it's alright. I know it's not your fault. So, there you have it. Surely you understand now. What part of that was understandable? Whatever. Let's just start filming. Yeah, Kiryu! I like that fire. You're gonna rock my world with passion like that. That's enough. That's the spirit. This is 1988. That's the spirit, Kiryu. Hold on to that anger and let them roll. We're going in. Woo! I'm not sure how I feel about this. If you don't like the accents I'm doing, let me know and I will just drop all of them. I don't need to embarrass you all like this. I went with like faint voice for Miracle Johnson. The PA's got a Texan accent. I don't know what I'm doing for Steven Spinning. I'm just thinking like, you know, robot, like he's just some weird alien with the wide eyes. Miracle and Kiryu, let me explain what you two have to do. Miracle, you unveil your new Miracle Walk dance, shimmering and shaking your way from here to the end of the street. I know you know this, but please try to keep it elegant.
Okay.
No problem. The dance is gonna bedazzle the world.
So does Nick.
So does Ned. So does Ned. And Mr. Kiryu, your job is to protect Miracle from the zombies by whatever means necessary. Yeah? Got it. Ha! Good, Kiryu. You're the man.
Samurai.
Can we get on with this? Escort Miracle Johnson while he dances his way Tenkachi Street using his new Miracle Walk technique. Along the way, zombies will appear and attack Miracle. You will fail if Miracle takes enough hits to bring his energy to 0. If you succeed if Miracle reaches the Ako Ushimaru restaurant at the end of Tenkachi Street before he runs out of energy. Protect the civilian. Can I just run ahead? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Run, 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 and... He's not doing too hot. He's just regularly losing energy. He's not doing... Also, hi, Jade Cat. How dare you throw a knife at me? Alright, well that did a lot better than last time, so I just need to... I don't know, I dropped it. Oh, you... Okay. Alright, here we go. My god, how far does he have to go? There we go. He did it. Woo!
Oh.
Excellent. Amazing. Magnificent. That was stupendous, Miracle. I can tell you right now that I just shot the greatest music video of all time. This will be the stuff of legends. Spinning, please. I only did what was expected of me. The real honor goes to Kiryu. He was cooler than ice. Too cool.
So does Nick.
You are so right, Kiryu. If it wasn't for you, this masterpiece would have never happened. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. No need for thanks. Beating down hostile guys seems like part of my daily routine. Hey, Kiryu, how would you like to be my personal bodyguard? You would be like another part of me, man. Kiryu, baby! This is it, man! The golden ticket! The pop star prince is recruiting you! Babysitting a superstar might be a decent life, but the world is too big a stage for me. Kamurocho is plenty big. Oh, how disappointing. but I guess I can't deprive Kamurocho of its star. That's the way you make me feel, Kiryu. Kiryu-chan. Very well. I'll leave you with a gift then. Hey, zombies! Come on. Black or white, just tell me. A large black box and a small white box. Black or white, which should I pick? He's just dancing, he's just like ding ding ding. There's a big box and there's a little box. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Da, 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 let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. White. Okay. White it is. My gift to you. This. What is this? You got a baseball shirt. Isn't it delightful? Sure. Gratefully accepted. Thank you, Kiryu. You're going to be the Kamurocho king. I can tell. After all, I'm the pop star prince of the world. Woo!
Hey!
Hey! Hey! He's just like, hey. Hey. At least I'll never have to fight zombies again. If I'm ever back in Japan, I'm gonna look you up, Kiryu. You won't mind, would you? I'll think about it. Hey, Miracle. We gotta get going. The world needs to see what we've got waiting for them. Looks like my time is up. I'll see you around, Kiryu. I got a feeling this ain't the last time. Sure. I look forward to it. Nice. Also, okay, I just heard the weird audio thingamadickies. Is that happening to you guys as well? Miracle Johnson thinks we'll be meet again? Heh. Maybe we will. Oops.
Boom!
Thank you. Great screenshot. Alrighty, find a woman in front of Yurakute and ask her about Yurakute. Ying beef ball. Serena. Cafe Alps. Soba. Smile Burger. Kamurocho, Shoton. Where in the world is Yurakute? Rar. How is it going, Leon? Where the fuck is the... Is this her? There's a woman in front of Yurakute. Could she be Monmon, the woman I'm supposed to find? I have to ask her a couple of things to get the password. We have to ask, what is she doing today, and what is tomorrow's weather? Are you Monmon? I don't know you. What you want? There's a couple of things I need to ask you. Yeah? What you want to know? What was I supposed to ask? Plans for today and tomorrow's weather. Can you tell me your plans for today and tomorrow's weather? I was waiting for this. You want to answer? Then you fight first. Really? This isn't what I signed up for. You're just working on new stickers for Codename Kid Next Door? Oh, I love Codename Kids Next Door. Nigel Uno was so good. Nigel, like, I think my favorite character would have been number 4 or number 5. Huh. Hoorah! Damn it, he's got a stun stick. You've always been a number 5 fan? Fair enough, fair enough. You're very strong. You passed test. I give you information, tough guy. Good. I want to know your plans for today and tomorrow's weather. Oh, yes. Yes! My plans for today are a movie date. Tomorrow's weather is rain at noon. Okay. A movie date and rain at noon. You say hello to me to Li Luang. Li Luang? Li Luang. Man who sends you here. Sneaky man. Usually near shopping area. Okay? Yep. Sounds like the guy. Lu Lang, tough boss to work for. Not so easy for you. He's not my boss or anything. Is okay. I discreet. You not have to keep secrets from me. What are you talking about? Very good. You good acting. Li Luang, clever man. Always finds good people working for him. I like you. Hope you not die. Good luck. Didn't expect a brawl, but Munmon told me plans for today and tomorrow's weather. Now I have to get back to the guy for the password. Oh my god, there's a gold-suited man. Oh my goodness. You, sir, are mine. No, 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 no. Oh, I was meant to bump. God damn it, no. Okay, I have to wait for him to... There we go. What in the world? Why can I push him around like this? You have yet to meet a person that doesn't like her kick butt attitude. It's because she is very much the like one of the K&D peeps that people actually want. No one wanted to be a bald kid when they were a kid. No one wanted to be number 2. Number 3, I think, was like a weird stereotype, I feel, for like young Japanese or cross girls. Damn it, it's because I threw money that he's now... God damn it, Sir Dragon. It's because I threw money that... Come on. Huh? Alrighty. Alright, time to help him out. Hello, Jack. Welcome to the stream. She's the OG leader of Sector V. Technically, number 1 is the leader of Sector V. Like, number 5 is a good second in command, I feel. Yes! was fucking awesome. There we go. You missed. Oh, no, I said happy birthday, didn't I? I swear I said happy birthday. You mentioned it in the Discord. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, wait, no, I said happy birthday to Zeus. You didn't mention anything in the Discord. When was it your birthday? You said nothing. You can't tell me I missed your birthday when you haven't told me your birthday. This is ridiculous. Yesterday. I wasn't streaming yesterday. No one posted shit yesterday about your birthday. Yeah. No one posted shit about your birthday yesterday. This is unfair. Don't you dare drop an anvil on me. You didn't tell me it was your birthday yesterday. You're only telling me this today because I missed it. Also, why am I in a Jesus pose? There we go. You can't say I missed your birthday when you didn't tell me any heads up or on the day that it was your birthday. I owe you nothing. Good day to you, sir. Yo, you asked Monmon plan for today and tomorrow's weather? Before was Kree, her older sister, number 5, became leader after Kree became a traitor. She decided to give the role to number 1. Oh, I'm not up to date with the lore. Yeah, I don't get what it means, but I got her answer. Oh, very good. First, what Monmon say about plans for today? A movie date. She said a movie date. Okay, movie date. Got it. All right. How about tomorrow's weather? What Monmon say? Rain at the noon. She said rain at noon. Oh, rain at moon. I see. Okay, good news. You bring me Monmon answer? Big help. Sure. You didn't tell me anything about a fight to get Monmon to talk, though. It would have been good to know. Didn't tell you in a group chat, but yeah, my birthday was yesterday. I said good day. Quite useful, man. I am impressed. What was that about? Why did you need to ask Momo about our plans for today and tomorrow's weather? You think I tell you? No chance. Code words for next business deal. So it was for some shady deal after all. I figured those phrases shouldn't be taken at face value. Alright, I'm done with your job. Hurry up and give me the password. Patience. I finish deal first. I come back soon. Not take long. You walk around and wait for me. Okay, fine. You're back. How did your deal go? Big business deal go through, thanks to you. Thanks for you. You got a broken M1985. Oh my god, a fucking shotgun. About that password. Haha, I know, I not forget. I tell you, you listen carefully, okay? Sure, I'm listening. Password is Subonten Uhigio Kiryu. Important to capitalize first letter.
Nani?
Nani? What is problem? You see what I mean when I tell you merchant man? Yeah. Can you say it one more time? See? You listen carefully, okay? I be nice. One more time. I say password. Subo Tenu Higu Kiru with capital S. You memorize? You say password to merchant man. I here for a while. If forget password, you come back. Got it. Leon, I paid no mind. This is fucking propaganda, okay? Everyone is calling me out for, oh, I didn't know their birthday, when they don't share in the Discord. I want to buy. Say the password. Subontanu Higekuro with capital S. Good. That's it. Sweet. I got it. Dun. Finally managed to get the password right. Didn't expect to become a go-between for a shady deal to have it, but it turned out alright. That was a lot of work just to satisfy my curiosity. No, now, what am I forgetting? Hey, aren't you buying anything? Oh, maybe later. I want to know what I can buy from him. You actually messaged me on my birthday after Z showed that art piece of me on stream. Ah, nice. Alrighty. What is the password? What do you want? Alright, so we can get side stabilizers. Oh my god, 10 million yen for that. A motor for pocket circuits. It's got good torque for super acceleration, hill climbing abilities. Hell the fuck yes. Come again. No, I need to order more, thank you very much. What do you want? We'll get one of those. I don't care for the bats. A modified deluxe lighter. A metal jacket. Some say the power of a late judo master lives on with this belt. It gives you a boost in strength when throwing enemies. A ghost koi. Bet you've never seen a fish with the face of a human before. An axolotl! Why is there shiitake? There we go. Come again. Alrighty. Dun, 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 dun. Alrighty, where is... Oh. Bump into you guys.
やのか
God damn it. I'm getting wrecked by regular people. Yes, I'm not yet an expert at the combat. Especially when they decide to, like, you know, fucking, you know, push me around like this. And also, they're so much stronger for some fucking Oh, one of them's named Sega, the fucking... God damn it, one of them was named Sega. That's definitely a reference. Alright, they're gone. They're defeated. I win, despite the very heavy-handedness. It's because some of them went into rage mode. I don't know what that means. It's me, Bob. Concert, big festival, thunder. Exchange, CP. Alrighty, in business. Reduces the time it takes until revenue is ready for collection. Yes. A new look for the office. Yes. Reduce time it takes until revenue is ready for collection. I will do that next time. Dash. Throw money over a larger area. I do not have that. Nyom. Nyom. I need to get something to eat. Is this someplace to eat? Hopefully this is someplace to eat. Nope, it's medicine. Even better. Charges up your health and thingamadiggy dramatically. I'll go for 3 of those. Golem Tiger, balanced frame. Side stabilizer. Side stabilizer 3.0. Oh my god, I have equipment I could be using. Better throwing ability. Let's have a look. Oh, ready for payout. Nice. Alrighty, we need to go get our monies! Purple aura when they got red aura, they hit harder. Noted. How do I stop it being like one aura or the other? Alrighty, so I need to head to that blue area. Insert 1 million yen to make your dreams come true. Sure, let's give it a try. Scotch whiskey. Nice. Please don't hit me. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Dodge more often and strike back quick. Noted. Alright, so I just need to get on the other side. This is probably going to be the part of the... Oh, can I fight this drunk? Let me fight this drunk. Let me fight this drunk. Damn it, I thought I could fight the drunk. Yes, security guard, here we go. Oh yeah! Yes! Yes! Nice! Nice. Woo! Complex answer. Switch styles constantly mid-fight to gain the upper hand and crowd control the punks. Noted. Who is this kid? The shrink-wrapped dream. Yeah, we're not gonna talk to a child. That's problems waiting to happen. Alrighty. Let's check out our business. What's this music? Did Marina leave the radio on? Oh, that girl. How am I supposed to turn this thing off? Is this the off button? It's showtime! I'm your host, Dolce Kamiya. As always, we kick off the show with shoutouts to our faithful listeners by reading out their postcards. Here is Dolce Kamiya's Dolce de Postcard. This guy is as cheesy as it gets. I need to turn this off before he gets in my head. Today's featured postcard is from our listener, The Thinking Driver. Hi, Dolce Kamiya. I listen to your show all the time. Hello to you too, and thanks. I have a girlfriend I adore, but this morning at breakfast, we got into a huge fight. This doesn't sound like a complete part of anyone's morning. Why would anyone argue about something so stupid? I use soy sauce like any self-respecting Japanese man, but she used konatsu sauce. Can you believe that? Well, everyone has their preferences. Since then, we haven't exchanged a single word. Some times are important enough to take a stand on. Maybe so, but some things aren't so important either. P.S. What do you put on your eggs, Kamiya-san? The Thinking Driver-san. You're making a monstrous boo-boo fighting with your girl over something like that. I think you need to apologize for being so saucy. Whoa. By the way, I put ketchup on my fried eggs. What is the deal with this radio show? They'll actually read stories that insane on the air? Oh, would you look at this? That's the third postcard we've read on the air from The Thinking Driver. Congratulations. The Thinking Driver. We'll have a fabulous prize heading your way. I'm not saying what, but it's worth a cool 1,000,000 yen. Nani? 1,000,000? Oh, it's time already? Too bad. Too sad. But that's our show for today, folks. Alright then, make sure to tune in again. Goodbye, and see you next time. What in the world is going on? If they read 3 of your postcards on the air, you'll win something worth 1,000,000 yen? Makes you rethink the value of things. A postcard about fried eggs got used on the show? Maybe even I could write something. Oh, Mr. President, you're here. Oh, where were you? You left the radio on. Oh, I'm sorry. I went out to buy some office supplies, like pens, paper cups, and postcards. Nani? Postcards? Why? Do you have something against postcards?
Yeah.
Oh. No. I was just thinking I wanted some postcards. Ah, okay. In that case, I'm gonna put them on your desk drawer. Feel free to use them. Got it. Thanks. If there's something I can write about, maybe I should try sending it in a postcard. Once you complete certain sub-stories, you can write about the experience on a postcard. Access the desk to submit topics to the radio station. Maybe you'll get lucky and end up being featured on Dolce Kamiya's Dolce de Postcard. Nice. Sounds awesome. Maybe next time. We need to have a look at the real estate. Alright, 2,000,000. Let's have a look. The economy forecast and a share bonus. Money battle. Yay! I protected the property. Yeah, he knows nothing about restaurants, so... Yes!
じゃりんじゃりん稼ぐぜ。
2,000,000 yen? Fuck that. Time to write a postcard.
Oi.
Never ever read it. Lol. And then there's an emergency button right there. Nani? Oh, I could be purchasing other places. I just need to find out how to pay them. Alright, time to fight some hooligans.
なんなんだ。
Yes! Nice! So switching styles does seem to be cool. I think I'd have the money to purchase that if I could. Yum. Okay, there was some place we could... Was it down here? How Hopefully it was down here. Hey, enjoy your stay. I think this is the side mission that they were talking about where you can make money. Where does that door go? What is this door? There's definitely something behind it. Sorry, pal. That's not open to you. I saw you let a guy in. What's in there? You think I'd come right out and say it? Well, let's say it's a paradise for men. A place where dreams come true. A place where dreams come true? Yes. A real-life wonderland. Got your interests up? It does make me curious. What do I have to do to get in? I'm the decider, actually. I say who comes in. You want in? You gotta win my approval. Alright. So what do I need to do to impress you? This place is paradise for the wealthy. If you don't have the bread, you can't afford the dessert. I have to see that you've got enough cash to make a splash. Not only that, I want to see that you've got the balls to do it with style. You prove that to me, I'll let you in. Use your noggin and figure it out. Paradise for the wealthy. This is definitely the place the crazy rich guy was talking about. I have to show the guy that I have the money to burn and the willingness to burn it. Oh, wow, I wonder. Hoorah! What do you think you're doing? Have you lost your mind? Just showing you that I got cash to burn, and I'm not afraid to set it on fire. Wow. I never thought I'd see a guy literally toss money onto the pavement. You got a screw loose? I like the cut of your jib, though. You can come in. Right this way. Is this gonna be a fighting ring? Oh my, ooh. Oh. What is this place? It's the official arena of the JCC, the Japanese Catfight Club. Ooh. 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 Sexy little vixens scrape it out in an arena filled with beauty and ugliness. And the men bet big wages on the winner. That's what this place is about. No, don't, no! This is very important. Very important for the plot of Yakuza. Plot. Very important. Look at this. Hang on, where's my hand? There we go. There's my hand. Look at this. Look at this. Eek. Grabby. 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 Look at this. So important. A feast for the eyes, an exciting chance to double the fun by making money laying bets. A pleasure palace for men, I call it, and that's what it is. Not exactly subtle, not exactly refined, but who cares? Not me. Oh, we gotta pretend, okay. Not me. Oh, here. Take this back, it's yours. 10,000 yen. What's this? The cash you burned. It was a real joy to watch it floating around, so I scooped it all back up for you. Use it to have fun in here, pal. Good luck to you. Yeah. Catfight, huh? Never expected to find that going on in Kamurocho. What a gaudy place. But I bet I can make money here. Even with the risks, it's worth the shot. Ooh. Give me the biggest booba. God damn it, why does he have to... Do you have to bring out asexual energy? Catfights are high risk, high return, but if I play it right, I feel like I could return a hefty profit. Got a new way to make big bucks. What I really need now is some sleep. Time to rest up for tomorrow. No time for rest. We are going to the catfight. We are going to the catfight. And they've completely changed. Alrighty. Alrighty, let's have a look at the fighters. You got Rei, you got Yukio, Momoko, Maria. Oh, Jennifer.
お好みはさあ time desu.
Mommy? Oh my god, she's an English teacher. 30. Look at that bust! Are you seeing these stats? Hang on a second. I need to get rid of chat. Hang on a sec. Let me hide chat for a quick second. Is this? What? You got a problem? What? You got a problem? It's just a video game. There's nothing wrong here, DJ Atomica. There is nothing wrong at all. You are just imagining things. It is fantastic. Yurei, Saryu, cookie for DJ. Oh. All right, so she's 3, 3, and 4, 5, 1, and 3. Oh my god, Jennifer is fucking strong. Incredible. Alright, hang on a second. So, how to play. In Catfight Tournament, 8 contestants vie for victory. Place your bets on the one you think will win. The payout depends on the odds and the wagered amount. There are 2 ways to bet. You bet on the contestant you think will win the best, and you predict the winner of each match in a tournament. In second case, there's a set fee to participate. You can decide whether to take part or not. You can influence the outcome of matches by cheering for your chosen contestant. There are 2 ways to do this. Rock, paper, scissors. At certain points during the match, you can select from rock, paper, or scissors. The winning contestant will dish out a powerful move. Or button mashing. At certain points during the match, you may be called on to cheer your contestant on by mashing buttons as repeatedly as you can. The rock, paper, scissors selector screen and the matchup indicator changes colors based on the predicted power of the next move. From weakest to strongest, the colors are white, blue, green, red, and rainbow. Keep in mind that whenever your character does a special move or not depends on the outcome of rock, paper, scissors. These colors are there to give you an idea on what to expect, and they can change while the contestants are still grappling. Sometimes a move of a different strength may be used. When picking a winner, consider attack. This is the damage amount for each type of move. Opponents are more likely to use their strongest moves. Fight record. The graph shows how well a contestant did in the past. Longer bars indicate more wins. These, yep, cool, nice, has a chance to launch a preemptive attack at the beginning of a match. Has a chance to restore health during a match. When in critical condition, the fighter has a chance to return to the match with restored health. And then with comeback, when in critical condition, the fighter has a chance to win the match dramatically. Okay, so we got Momoko, who has a chance to gain higher vitality and trigger automatic health recover. And then we've got Jennifer. Oh my god, Maria has, like, no chance. I wonder if we could, like, force Maria. Let's go for $250,000. Place the bet on Maria. Yes. We're gonna place $250,000 yen on Maria.
Boys and girls, are you ready for catch?
She is going to get absolutely demolished. All right, here we go. Let's see how this, of course, gets the heart eyes for this particular mini game. Look, I said we weren't going to play all the mini games. I didn't say we weren't going to not play mini games. 2, 1. Oh no, scissors! Oh no! She's at a disadvantage. All right, so she's already used scissors.
Okay, that's it.
Yes.
I'm gonna spit in your mouth.
Hi there, Izzy. Pretty sure that's most of stream's trash. Competitive rock, paper, scissors with girls. It's fantastic. All right, so she's used scissors. No. Ah, you motherfucker. Oh, God. This is gonna hurt.
つくんだよ
Yes!
そんなあーこうなかかってきなじゃねえマジ殺すぞクソビチが
No! Fuck!
こうな
Oh, she's just... It's saying she's inferior.
調子乗るんじゃね
Blue? Green?
えほらブスどうした
Oh no!
消えろよ
Oh no! That is terrible!
無事天国に到着いたしましたお忘れ物にご注意ください
次は殺す
That's such a shame. I'll need a Yeah, I lost so fucking much. What the hell? Before, after, lost, like. Thank you for your pay. You know, we're just watching Scantily Cat beat the living shit out of each other. Yes, and it's fantastic. But here's the thing. The next time I'm going into that kind of mini game, we're going in to win. I don't care about sexy women if they're just gonna lose. We want sexy women that win. Alrighty then. Ah, goddamn you. Save the game here. Create a new save. We are going to end the stream there. There's a lot of mini games that I want to do, and I'm gonna more rather do them off stream rather than have you all of you like sort of sitting there waiting for me to try and get through it on stream. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. Is it's going to be a case of like me doing some of the silly, not proper stuff off stream, and then, you know, when we get to storyline stuff or the first time discovery of side stories, then that's going to be on stream and what have you. Now, I will be back online tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is D&D night. It's not going off Friday night. It's going off tomorrow night with Code the Yoshi, okay? All right. Now, we are going to go and raid into someone, okay? And it's going to be Code the Yoshi. All right, raid a channel. It's going to be Code the Yoshi. And we're going to tell him Yakuza looks fun. It's just real estate and cat fight rings. This is going to be our raid message, is Yakuza looks fun, it's just real estate and cat fight rings. Actually, no, even better, even better, even better. Grant found the cat fighting ring. There we go, that's our raid message. And then if you would like to join in, so those are your two options, is the blank text and the one with emojis, okay? Now, that is it for tonight. I'll be back on tomorrow night with Code the Yoshi for some D&D night. And otherwise, I want to say thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you all have a good afternoon, morning, evening, or night. And I'll hopefully see you all tomorrow or next time. Bye for now.